just eating protein will grow your muscles?
Yeah, certainly. What happens is this. When we talk about, and you hear this classic buzz phrase of muscle protein synthesis, generally what we're talking about there is contractile units. And so when we say contractile units, we're talking about the myosin and actin. There's some amount of protein turnover where we're coming in and we're trying to add more proteins to the equation. And so what has to happen there is a series of steps. So step number one is there has to be some sort of signal from the external world. This could actually, oftentimes it's things like stretching of the cell wall, which is what happens with exercise, right? So it can come from as simple things like an amino acid infusion. This is just eating protein. This is why protein ingestion alone is anabolic, right? And those data are very clear. If you were to walk into a laboratory fasted overnight and I gave you 30 grams of protein, we would see a very measurable increase in protein synthesis quite clearly for several hours, probably 4 to 5 plus hours.
I am betting that most people are not aware of that fact.
You know what's actually interesting about it is if you do the exact same study again and you just did strength training, you would also see an improvement in protein synthesis, right? But those factors are independent and the mechanisms are independent, such that if you do them both together, they stack on top of each other, which is really wonderful. And if you were to add carbohydrate into that mix, now you're actually adding fuel for the entire muscle protein synthesis process. And now you're going to see even additive benefits.
These are parallel pathways for protein synthesis. Simply eating protein or training each independently increases protein synthesis. I can't help but ask, is the same true if one does endurance type exercise? Will I see an increase in protein synthesis simply as a consequence of that jog?
No, this is one of the unique factors of strength training. You're not going to see that. You're not going to see those benefits. In fact, you're going to see quite the opposite. It's an entire molecular cascade. So this is kind of how it works.